Hello, hello, hello. You have made it to episode 10. Just wanted to kind of give you a little inside information on where I was at and what part of life I was in regards when I recorded this particular episode. Got a few minutes to spare, so hopefully you allow me to talk with you and listen to some of the most updated version of me before we get to the episode. Now, the episode starts in about 6 minutes. So, sit back. All right, let's get started. So, I was still actually in Austin, Texas when I recorded this particular episode. I was at a point, I don't know exactly remember the date and Pacific time, but I was at a moment in life where I was just kind of doing reflection, and that's one of the things that I always try to do on a daily basis, just reflect and try to find different ways where I can find ways to improve myself and find ways to not continuously fall back in the same trajectory that I already have experience falling in. But when I was speaking on this episode, I got into my little cocky mode, to be honest with you, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You get to a point to where you realize that it's not about being cocky, confident. That's great. It's just making sure you don't fall over the line of arrogance. But this particular episode, I was speaking more towards the men and understanding how you must continuously make sure your woman or your partner is aware that you still longs for them. Simply because there are still many, many, many people out here that desires them more than you may know or that you give credit for. It's one thing that I'm a strong believer in, and I usually get side looks when I say I believe God possibly is a woman, simply because if you're going by the science and the physical entities that we have learned over the years, that only one type of species can hold on to life and carry and rebirth life. Now, obviously, men are needed to play their particular role into finishing the final project, but most of the heavy burden be on obviously the female species to carry on the project and deliver it in form of children and reproducing. So I took this episode as I was thinking about my children and thinking about my nieces, nephews, and just everybody I'm associated with, and wanted to make sure that I give the proper acknowledgement to what the prize is, which is women. Now, some women are still going towards a journey in life where they're still trying to figure themselves out, still trying to find their queen, and regardless of whatever situations that they into, regardless of whatever's going on, you got to be able as a man to acknowledge that at the end of the day, they are still queens and they are still destined to be treated with respect and the utmost security. But this episode gave me some time to just back and reflect on some of my shortcomings and some of the shortcomings that I noticed even as growing up into my adulthood, and some of the things and stories that I have allowed to be entered into my life chapter. Now, I get pretty direct, which I believe is the best form of communication in regards of some of the lessons that I had to learn and some of the issues that I brought upon different topics and different stories in my life. As I continue to find my pathway and do my best to become the man that I need to be in regards of showcasing the best appreciation, the best love, and the best method of security for the woman that I, see as the top of the mountain and beyond. I made this episode to just for the fellas and the men, for us to sit back and just take time to understand what you have. Look at your wife, look at your children, look at your girlfriend, look at your mother, look at your grandmother, look at, your sister, whoever. Take time to look at them. And if you know you haven't said you appreciate them enough, or if it's been a while, take the opportunity right now to show them that they are loved, they're appreciated. And it don't have to just be in a monetarily format. It don't have to be gifts. It don't have to be that stuff. Sit back, look at them. Just be sincere and let them know how much you appreciate them. Because imagine if you wake up the next day and they wasn't there. Welcome. This is Who Cares Podcast, hosted by your boy, Tim O. Dawg. So y'all heard the first two songs, man. You heard the first two songs. Woman's gotta have it. That's some of the most truest words ever spoken. A woman gotta have it, fellas. Regardless of how alpha you believe you are, how much of a man you believe you are, you gotta make sure you understand who goddess is. You make sure you do whatever it takes necessary to please your goddess. And if you got a good goddess, a great goddess, she won't even ask for much. But the great goddesses that don't ask for much, you got to make sure you give them all they desire. Because if you don't, a cat named Thou will be in your house. Now, this is not in a method of disrespect. This is not in a method of trying to demasculate you. This is simply lining you up. If you got a good woman, if you got a great goddess, you better make sure she knows she a great goddess in your eyes. Because once a cat named Thou get in that door, she ain't never coming back. Just being honest. Alright, so let's get to the podcast though. Let's get to some of the notes that I posted up on my Instagram. And once again, that's Tim O. Thou, the man Sheen on IG, just IG, TimothhyThemancHine. And that's all. And Tim O. Thou, Who Cares Podcast on YouTube as well. Alright, so had a couple things that I went ahead and posted this week. So let's jump straight to it. One of the things I posted was in order to speak your mind, you must first build relationship equity with people. Now, Timothy, what does that mean? Well, it's pretty simple. We all have our flaws. we all have many things within ourselves that we could improve on. There's many things that we are lacking from a physical perspective, a spiritual perspective, and a mental perspective. But must understand the message that we have will never be delivered the appropriate in the correct way unless we build some type of equity with a person that we are giving constructive criticism to. You see, we all are very, very aware of some of our flaws. Everybody is aware of the flaws that they have subconsciously. But we all don't want anyone that we don't have some type of repertoire with. Somebody that we have a certain level of comfort and confidence with giving us constructive criticism. See, the problem is with the world, a lot of us try to skip steps in every aspect of life, i.e., acquire a shortcut to what we deem as success. And that varies from relationship standpoint, a career standpoint, personal and professional standpoint. You can't skip steps. No matter how much experience or how much knowledge you believe you have and what you may truly have in regards of certain levels of constructive criticism in certain aspects of life, no matter what you've been through or no matter if you've been through certain situations, not everybody is going to take in your constructive criticism and your information that you're trying to provide for them if they just don't have a certain level of comfort in you. We can even use an example in regards of a man and a woman in an intimate setting. There's certain levels of a woman that she will not expose to a man unless she is 100% confident in that man. Now I hope my mother, my mama, my grandmother not listening to this podcast. So please, Queen Beyonce, please make sure they don't listen to this podcast because I want them to remember who their baby is. Alright, so you're not going to reach an ultimate level in a woman's freakness unless she is 100% confident in your personality, 100% confident in your spirit. She must have an ultimate, unlimited level of privacy and understanding that you're not a FN to where you're going to go around being braggadocious regarding the experience that you and her created. Every woman have a freak in her. Every woman deep down in her, whether she's nervous, whether she's an introvert, has a level of unsustainable wrath of freakness in her. Every woman wants to ultimately give a man something to remember her by, especially sexually. Every woman wants to give fellatio until she almost vomit, if that's what pleases her partner. But she gotta have the ultimate, not only respect, but the ultimate belief that this partner will not, absolutely will not disclose the time that they had. Every man, talking to the alpha man, every man wants to be able to cry in front of another man when they at a place of excruciating pain. But you have to build a certain level of relationship equity before that man is willing to open himself up in any perspective. Life, in all aspects of life, is about building equity. You have to build relationships. You have to be organic in the relationships that you're building. That's the only way you're going to get 100% of a person. That's the only way you're going to be able to elevate relationships to a point to where it is not only undeniable, but unbreakable. A lot of us don't have real friends, real brothers, real sisters, real women, real family, because we continuously not exercising the power of patience, the power of understanding, the power of love. To be patient with someone, you gotta love someone. To have an understanding that I'll be ready when you're ready. That is what building equity is. That is the true definition of friendship. That is the true definition of partnership. That is the true definition of love. That's it. Which leads me to another thing that I posted. Be who you are, because the way you act will never be sustainable. I'ma say it again. Be who you are, because the way you act will never be sustainable. Bow. What does that mean? Alright, well, let me tell you. let's not be naive and act like we don't have a lot of spirits walk around this earth that's playing certain roles that they believe is going to give them the best opportunity and the best chances to reach whatever personal goals that they have to reach. And some of them are very, very successful at it. Some of them are millionaires. Few of them are billionaires in acting a certain way. But that's one thing about life. It's one thing about the universe. It always has a way to showcase who you really are. Now, it may not happen in a day. It may not happen in a week. You got some people that's been acting for close to 50 years. And it hasn't come back to them yet. But it will. It always does. See, nothing in life is infinite. Not even numbers. Nothing in life is infinite. There's a time, there's a finish line for everyone and everything. That's the universal cycle of life. What goes up eventually must come down. You shoot a bullet in the air, it's not going to just keep traveling in the air. Eventually it's going to reach a certain destination point to where gravity is going to take hold and overpower, and it's going to be forced to come back down. It's no different than the act that people play on a continuous basis. You're going to only get away with not procrastinating, but that's not the word I'm looking for. You're only going to get away with being a misrepresentation of the person you truly are when the expiration date on how you act comes to a point. Because everything has an expiration date. Everything has a limit. Everything has a budget. In all walks of life, in all verses of life, from the universe to the metaverse, virtuverse, converse, whatever verse, it all has a limit. One of the reasons why we all should do our best to be as organic as we can be. The only time anything is scripted is for entertainment purposes. If your whole life is scripted, then you are just bound to just entertain. Never be taken seriously. People would never be considerate of your feelings. People would never be considerate of your thoughts. You're an entertainer. They want you to just entertain because you're not living organically. Dance, boy. Dance, girl. Gyrate. Yeah, do all that. Shake your ass. Be okay with me calling you this, calling me you this name. Yeah, boy, jump. Yeah, boy, dribble. Yeah, boy, throw that football. Yeah, boy, run that. Yeah, boy, sing. Yeah, boy, dance. Yeah, boy, rap. Yeah, boy, do that, boy. Entertain us, boy. Entertain us, ho. You a woman. You a man. At the end of the day, don't ever forget that when you're going through your pathway and your journey in life. You a man first. You a woman first. You desire and you require respect before anything. You're not a boy. You're not a this. You're not a hoe. You're not a bastard. You're not a this. You're not a that. You a man. And you a woman. Even in regards to children. You're a young king. A prince. You're a young princess. A queen in the making. A king in the making. Always be who you are. Because God has made you that way. And God just don't make mistakes. Organicness is the key to a happier life. It's the key to peace, prosperity, everlasting happiness. Because when you being who you are, doesn't matter what anybody say. They can't pull you off your path. They can't stop anything that is meant for you. Point blank, period. They can try, but they always gonna fail. Be who you are more than the way you act. Alright, so let's make that be a segue to our next topic. Ooh, I'm getting good at these segues. I ain't gonna lie to you. They all coming together. Baby. Men, I have a question for you. Men, I have a question. So, let's be honest. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I go off a ledge. You know me. You know Timothy. Timothy don't care. I speak my mind. I speak my truth. I speak my peace. I do not care. So, we all fantasize about women's celebrities, right? Every man does it. Every man fantasize. It is one female, quote unquote, celebrity. Whether she a singer, whether she an actress, whether she an activist, whether she a politician, whether she anything that's considered the ultimate public figure, we all fantasize about 1, 2, 3, 4 particular ones, right? Right. You ain't gotta admit it. I'ma do it for you because I'm thou. This is what I do. Yes, I do. But how many of the ones you think real women? Timothy, what you mean, real women? Exactly what I just said. Real women. Organic, born women. Oh, my bad. It's not 22. We don't have, the transgender community, which I have nothing but respect for, because thou is love, baby. Thou is love. Like real love, organic love. Thou is love. Not these fake loves. Thou is love. Thou is spiritual. Thou is energetic. Thou does not even recognize male, female. Thou recognize souls. That's all thou recognize is souls. But let's just hypothetically say, if some of the men or women, people that we fantasize about, that's on a celebrity status, would you still fantasize about them if you came to find out that they wasn't organically the gender that they are now? Okay, you want to ask me if I would? I feel disrespected that would be even a question that you ask me. You damn right I would. You see, I'm big on classifications, right? I don't like the fact that words are made up in order to a point to put us all in certain classifications to, in a lot of ways, demean us as people. If you're the G word, you're worse than heterosexual people. If you're black, you're worse than white people. If you're white, you're worse than Latino people. If you're this, you're worse than that. If you're poor, you're worse than the rich. If you're rich, you're worse than the middle class. It's just, it can go on and on. On and on. At the end of the day, we're not connecting to people's appearance. We're not attractive. We're not attracting. We're not attracted to how someone's look. We're not attracted to how someone acts. When we first get to a point in a level of attraction to a person, it's a spiritual connection that attracts us to that person first, to the point to where we graduate into fantasizing about that person. Because you can walk around and be attracted to anybody. But when you get to the point to where you start fantasizing about a person, that has nothing to do with looks. It has nothing to do with gender. Your vibrations is in alignment with the person that you're fantasizing about vibrations. It's all energy. Looks, body size, pretty face, handsome face, haircuts, clothing, shoes, the way someone speaks, that's just shallowness. That's just the icing on the cake. It ain't the batter though. It's just the icing on the cake. That's just there to make it look prettier and make it look more desirable. That's all that is. Why do you think we make eye contact with people that we were destined to have a season or a point in life with? Why you think no matter how confident a man is, when he see a spirit, feel a energy within another party, they automatically are overtake with one of the senses that is nervousness. That could be a man or a woman. It's a connection. It's just a connection. It has nothing to do with nationality. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with economical background, nationality. It has nothing to do with none of that. See, classification is what have us walking around disliking and disapproving of one another. Classification has caused us to be so close-minded that we're not able to recognize the beauty that everyone brings to the table. That's what more love is about. That's what more understanding is about. Eliminating the word classification. Just because somebody may be in a better situation than you does not mean they're better than you. It does not mean that. So, to answer that question, like I said, yes, I will still fantasize. Because it's just a fantasy. But in reality, we all just one. In reality, we all here to serve a purpose for one another and to give knowledge and to give a certain amount of experience to one another, which is a way that's going to help us become better people, better citizens, a better species. Because that's what the God has ultimately set us here for. That's what it's all about. Let's go to the next one. All right, I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna leave this one for to the end. I'm gonna leave this one to the end. Oh, here goes one of them. Light skin and Latino women make the best housewives. Facts. 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 I'm going to tell you why. After we come back from a music break. This is Who Cares Podcast, hosted by your boy, Tim O. Thou. All right. We halfway into the episode, and hopefully it's been enough information and resources, and I've been doing enough to ensure to keep you interested in the topic at hand. We just going ahead and take an opportunity to just reflect on some of the first 39 minutes of this podcast to kind of just sit back, regroup, stretch, pause, reflect, whatever. But as I was sitting here talking about my story and talking about some of the information that I had the blessing of gathering, you get a chance to understand why women feel like they have so much pressure on them. But as I come to learn, it makes it a lot easier when their partner showcases to them daily how much they appreciate it and how much their role is so important to this puzzle of life and the puzzle of your relationship. Now, of course, as men, we got to be the provider, the protector, the dominant force. We only have to do that to protect them from the world, because they are our worlds. Whether it's your daughters, whether it's your mother, whether it's your wife, whether it's your child, whatever scenario, your grandmother, whoever you find a significant importance, which all of them should be looked at in a significant importance. So take the opportunity, man, to just, hopefully you're listening to this with your significant other. This is the perfect time, the perfect opportunity just to let them know how much they appreciate it, how much you love them, how much you're willing to support them, and how important they are to not just your world, but the entire world. Alright, so let's get back into the episode. You know what? Let's not. We're going to wait another about 30 seconds, 20 seconds, just so you can ensure that you drive that point to them. Drive it. Go ahead. Automatic or stick shift, it don't matter. Go ahead and drive that point. Okay? You drove it? Alright. Cool. Now we're going to go ahead and get back to the episode. Alright. We back. Alright, so let's go off the last question that I put out there. Light skin and Latina women makes the best housewives. Let me tell you why that is 100% factual. It's 100% factual because it's just the nature of lighter pigment in Latino women. You see, lighter pigment in Latino women takes an ultimate pride in creating a home for their significant other. It's just nature. A lot of light skin, a lighter pigment women and Latino women are brought up to not only just believe, but understand the natural purposes of what they was intended to be when God has made them. Their job is to find, well, not to find, but to be found by a hardworking man, a man whose principles is based off protection, providence, and leadership abilities. and a unlimited amount of motivation to provide the basic foundations for them, i.e., a house. See, life is all about balance. And lighter pigment women and Latino women have a grasp understanding on who they are within the balance of their dynamic. It's yin and yang. If a man is able to provide the house, now it's her responsibility to make that house a home. It's her responsibility to have it to where when that man comes home tired, exhausted, mentally drained from dealing with the many obstacles and many spiritual setbacks that he has to deal with in order to continue to make that house a consistent place of refuge for them. That is their way of showcasing their appreciation for the sacrifice, for the ability and the sensitivity to look the other way. You see, lighter skinned pigment women and Latino women are actually the alphas in their relationships. Yeah, you heard that. They're actually the alphas. Because their significant other has to be the betas in the world. They have to take sometimes disrespect in order to fulfill the bigger purpose. You got some things an alpha man just won't take naturally. He can't. That is the reason why a lot of alpha men typically can't be with a lighter pigment or Latino women, because a lot of alpha men don't know how to turn it off. It has nothing to do with the woman. It's the man. He haven't reached a level of security within himself to where he knows when to turn it off and when to turn it on. Because unfortunately, a lot of alpha men are alpha men all the time. And you can't be an alpha man in the world and then come home and be an alpha man as well. You just can't. It won't work out. You're going to always be in a situation where you're jumping from relationship to relationship and nothing is working out for you. You got to know your role. And lighter pigment women and Latina women makes the best type of women to build that house and make that house a home. Everything is going to be taken care of because they take so much pride into it. That's the reason why, if you want to have a successful relationship with a lighter pigment or a Latino woman, you got to be a hustler. You got to make sure, from a financial security standpoint, that woman does not lack for anything. Lighter pigment in Latino women has the ability to make coal into diamonds, as long as they got the right miner. That's M-I-N-E-R. I probably didn't say it right, but blame it on New Orleans. You bring them coals, they gonna make a diamond. And for that reason, you should try to bring them diamonds. Because you never know what they gonna make out of that. Imagine if you bring those type of women coal and they make coal diamonds. Imagine if you bring them diamonds. What would they make that? Whew. I get excited just thinking about it. Be real with you. I get excited just thinking about it. Now, but that leads me to my next segue. Dark skin and Asian women make the best sex partners. Facts. Facts. 100% facts. Please, Lord Goddess, aka Beyonce, don't let my mother, my grandmother, or children listen to this podcast, because this is not appropriate for them. I want them to remember, their baby Timmy, just the way he is. I want to always be looked at as their baby. But this grown man thou talking. Ain't no woman giving better fellatio than a dark skin and Asian woman. Period. It's not happening. Let me tell you the difference. Alright. Light-skinned and Latino women, when it comes to fellatio, and this is just one point of the sexual experience, I'm going to, reach the other points too. But light-skinned and Latino women, when they giving fellatio, you know what they do? They suck. And I don't mean suck in a bad way, but literally sucking. That's all they do. They sucking. Dark skin and Asian women, they eating. They eating. They ain't sucking. This ain't no, sucking and licking is for dessert, for ice cream. You know what I'm saying? For blow pops. It's a candy. It's not a full course meal. They don't treat it like a full course meal. They treat it like the food they had right after the main entree. They already satisfied. But the ice cream, the blow pop, the candy, that's just the cherry on top. That's just the cherry. But when it comes to dark skin and Asian women? Oh, no. That meat is the entree. Yeah. That meat is the entree. That is the entree. That is the main course meal. Everything after that is more so the cherry on top for them. Because dark skin and Asian women, when it comes to the daily routines of life and socializing and, being around people, they turn into more of the beta type personalities. And even in the household, around the children, around family, they take the beta approach. Introverted, quiet. When they just being them. When they being organic them. Quiet. Might have their head down. Just looking shy. Women with glasses too. Just, looking shy. But when they in that bedroom, oh, that's their domain. That's when they become the alpha. They'll be the beta in every room within the establishment, within the home. They the beta in the living room. She the beta in the kitchen. She the beta in there. She the beta here. But once they make it to their safe haven, that's their house. With that old Flow Rider song, welcome to my house. That's their house. And it takes so much. They take so much responsibility, and they take an ultimate level of seriousness in the bedroom. You would never, ever find another nationality that's going to be a better sex partner, I'm speaking to the men, than a dark skin, darker pigment, darker complexity, an Asian woman in the bedroom. You won't find none better. I don't give a shit how far you travel. I don't give a damn how many countries you've been through, how many cities you've been through. I guarantee you, every man, not speaking to you married men, because respect your wives. Don't even think about chocolate. Don't even think about chocolate. Because you mess around and think about chocolate a little bit too much, you might mess around and try to search on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Especially if you're married to a light-skinned Latino one. Let's just be real now. Let's be real. Like, chocolate, put it down, man. Wind, put it down, man. Fam, put it down, man. That's not, they ate that thing up, man. She ate it up, man. That light-skinned wife you got right now, she never put the whole thing in her mouth. She never put the whole thing in her mouth. That Latino woman, she never put the whole thing in her mouth. Never. Has not happened. That dark-skinned, that Asian one, she put that whole thing in her mouth. She sucked that thing till she vomited. And you know what happened after she vomited? She got back up and started sucking that thing again. Don't lie. Don't say nothing neither, though, because if your woman right next to you, don't say nothing. Don't mess your home up. Don't have a cold night. Keep it in your head, bruh. But I know. We know. We know. hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully it gave you a different perspective on some of the subjects that we were speaking about. And just be on the lookout for the next episode. As I say, getting everything started from the ground up to where more visuals will be available, where we're going to start doing live podcasts and all that good stuff. So please show your method of support by liking, subscribing, and follow me on all social media platforms at Who Cares Network. Predominantly, I typically just use Instagram and YouTube, to be honest with you. So if you could follow me on those platforms, it'd be greatly appreciated. And share, like, and all that good stuff if you find it informative. But other than that, have a great one.